And welcome back, everyone. I am Unstable, joined here by Lillian. We're going to go into Group E action now between Violet and Squirtle for our first game here. Let's see how it goes. We've got, of course, Squirtle and Violet both starting on Metropolis this time. And we haven't seen Metropolis as our first map in a while, have we, Lillian? Anyway, let's get this started. We got Violet down here at the 6 o'clock position as our pink Zerg. And then, of course, we have Squirtle over here at the 3 o'clock position as our red Protoss. So let's get this underway. Lillian, you were sitting there going, I want this group. This is my favorite group of the entire thing. So let's see what your thoughts are in this game.
Yeah, man, I was looking forward to this group quite a bunch. Of course, basically every group in this invitational has a lot of good players in this, but especially this one. I mean, it has Violet, it has Squirtle, and it has Grubby, and Grubby is, from the Netherlands, and so am I. So I'm always, looking forward to see how he's going to be doing in tournaments and what kind of strategies he's going to employ. But no Grubby just yet. We'll get to him in a little bit. First, we're going to watch Violet duke it out with Squirtle here, two players. Both with some Code S experience. Of course, they have played against each other quite a numerous amount of times in all kinds of tournaments all around the world. I mean, Violet was and is traveling pretty much everywhere. He's at MLG arenas, and Squirtle happens to attend a lot of international events as well. So I'm sure these two players are a little bit familiar with each other's playstyles.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been a while since I've actually seen Squirtle's PvZ. Like, I'm trying to remember the last time I saw it actually happen, unless I'm completely mental blanking. We do have, of course, a Nexus first come down here from Squirtle. He's going to throw down that Forge very shortly after. And, oh, we actually have a pylon. It's actually too far to the right.
Oopsie daisy.
Did actually... No, that's correct, yeah, because it was too far to the right. Oh, what a frustrating thing to have happen to you. Unless he's just planning on cannoning him later. No, there's the cancel on it. That's such a frustrating thing to have happen that early in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a cannon attempt would not have been very successful as he didn't have a forge yet.
Well, yeah.
If he would have let that pylon finish, I would have been like, I'm gonna make some oh wait, I don't have forge yet. So Nexus first out of Squirtle. That's why he didn't have the forge yet. The forge is about to finish up, and we're gonna see a cannon being dropped down, and just a standard opening from Protoss so far. You were talking about not seeing too many...
Well, I'm sure I've seen some recent. I just can't remember exactly what game it was. I'm trying to rack my brain on when the recent ones were.
The last time that I've seen Squirtle play against Zerg was in the group stage of Code S, the round of 16. He played Symbol twice.
Ah, that's right, yes. And it didn't work out too well for him.
No, he ended up winning 2-0 and then losing 2-0.
Yeah, it's always a frustrating way with these group stars. Like, the exact same group format that we're using for this is you win the first one, and we had a quick pause there. Of course, if anyone's wondering why are these replays, it's because we actually decided to cast via replays to prevent any stream cheating, pretty much, and it's much easier to organize. And everyone really does it now anyway, unless it's a live event at a LAN. So, third hatchery on the way now for Violet, which is pretty standard. Now, I believe because Violet was in Europe at the time this game was played, I can't remember exactly, but he's not playing on his original account. I can't actually remember exactly when which server this game was played on, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how this is gonna unfold. The Stargate going down for Squirtle in the main base right now. Early Stargate play. Probably going to be some kind of... it used to be so popular, the Zealot Void Ray pressure, but we rarely ever see that in the current metagame anymore. So let's see what's going to come out of this Stargate. Could be Phoenix as well, very popular. Has been a popular opener and still is somewhat popular, but I really feel the Void Ray a little bit more than I feel the Phoenix generally. We do see a third and fourth gas go down for Squirtle very early as well, so he could really go anywhere he wanted with this Stargate opening.
Yeah, I do remember there was one build, I believe it was Hero did on this map. It was very, very unique. What he did is he opened with Phoenixes to clear out the Overlords and any scouting on this right-hand side of the base, and then followed up with War Prison with sentries in it. So he came in and made sure there was no scouting, dropped into the top just here, force fielded the ramp, and it pretty much gave, cannot remember who the Zerg was, but he 0 heads up on what was going on and pretty much won the game there because he killed all the tech, which is really well done. And I love seeing things like that, but we do have a Void Ray coming out first, which, as you were saying, isn't really all that common these days.
No, it's not, and he's actually, he's going to be rallying into this Overlord to kill. I thought he might rally it, you know, to the back of his base to hide it or anything. No, he's not going to be hiding the Void Ray. Only one Void Ray has been produced, by the way. No follow-up coming out of this Stargate unstable. Only a single Void Ray. No Phoenix, no additional Void Ray is going to be following up, and I think Squirtle's kind of hoping for Violet to go ahead and overreact a little bit. Maybe, you know, go into Hydras while he's not even going to be going into any kind of airplay at all.
Yeah, well, he is supply cap for a second there by the second Overlord dying, but he does have a Ritual clone, like you were saying, coming up. Swing Speed's just been started as well. But he did get a clean look at 2 of these gateways go down, not the extra 2. But I have a feeling that Squirtle's just going to play defensively and go for a long macro game. That's just my feeling for this game, especially since he's killing these rocks. He's got that complete wall off down here. It's not really a really large amount of gateways. We've got that robotics facility on the way as well, though. But Violet's going to hit his drone cap very, very shortly. Like, he's already at 73. Probably only needs, like, one more quick round and then he's perfectly fine.
Wow, that's such a big risk to be taking, man. When you see that Void Ray, you know, there's still an option. It could be a 4-gate Zealot pressure. And if that would have been the case, when you have 70 drones and 4 queens, that's pretty much all the units out on the field, that's not going to be a very good situation. There is a Spore Caller up at that 3rd base, so no room for that Void Ray to do damage. A single Phoenix was produced as well. It is currently flying into the main base of Violet, going to be scouting things out a little bit. Might actually end up dying.
Oh, it actually, yeah, I think exactly what's going to happen here. He does see the Spire, though, does get around behind the bases.
Oh, that's so good. So good that he scouts that Spire. That tells him so much. I'm so curious to see how Squirtle's going to react to this. I mean, Immortals are obviously not going to be what he needs right now. He needs Blink, or he needs a lot of Phoenix. I'm so curious to see what he's going to do. Is he going to make more Phoenix, or is he going to go into Blink and +2? I think it's going to be the latter. He's not making any more Phoenix, which disappoints me. I would have liked to see some Phoenix going up against the Mutas. That's always fun to watch, especially when they get that range upgrade.
Yeah, but every time I've seen that happen, like every single time I've seen a game where the Phoenix range upgrade is upgraded, the Protoss loses.
Yeah.
It's just a pure coincidence. It's probably just a pure coincidence, but it's just like, huh? So we do have that 3rd base up for Squirtle now. It's pretty much finished. Playing very passive here. He is down 20 supply, but as soon as he starts kicking into gear with all of these extra gateways that he's got, we do also see cannons going in the mineral lines just to defend against these mutas, but it looks like it's actually straight into Corruptors.
What?
Yes.
And what are they gonna do? Corrupt?
Well, at first I would think he didn't put an infestation pit down that I didn't see, did he?
No, he does not have an infestation pit. He has a Spire and he's making Corruptors. He doesn't have an infestation pit, so he cannot go up to Hive. He cannot go up to Broodlords. There's no Robotics Bay on the way, so Colossus are not going to be hitting the field. There's 1 Void Ray and 1 Phoenix, and that's all these Corruptors are going to be able to hit.
That's very interesting. Like, unless Squirtle is just completely mind-gamed Violet, that's very interesting. Because he can't really, like you're saying, do anything against the unit tech that he's got here. So all that Squirtle has to do is really just get a whole heap of ground units. There's the infestation bit now. Get a whole heap of ground units and just push out and purposely try not to target the Corruptors. And it's like, well, thanks. There's 30 supply of your entire army that it's useless.
Yeah, it's true. That's just exactly how it is unstable, and a very sad situation. We did have a cancel on the left side of the map, or at least a prevention of a 4th base, as we see Violet's going to be pushing into the rather small army of Squirtle. Maybe he doesn't even need the Corruptors right now. He's not casting Corruption just yet. Of course, not the most useful thing to be doing with your APM when you're fighting against Stalkers. I mean, they don't have a lot of HP anyway. The force fields are good, and Squirtle is holding on here. Most of the sentries are staying alive. He does have Blink, of course. Now with the reinforcing, Zerglings are going to be coming in there. The force fields are starting to run low, and Squirtle, I think he's had a very cost-effective engagement here. Hardly losing any Stalkers, just losing a few of his sentries.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have Pathogen Glands on the way, +1 melee and more Zerglings, but like you were saying, just such a cost-effective fight just there. Looking at this, 1,500 at 3650 units lost, and now Squirtle is moving out across the map. There's a lot of Zerglings here, more Zerglings in production as well, but Squirtle can just warp in more Zealots, and that's all he has to do because there's no Baneling Nest here at all. 9 Infestors on the way. Looks like these Corruptors can finally clean out this Void Ray. Oh, he's going to try and get away, but not going to happen, unfortunately.
Oh. Actually,
or maybe... What? Oh, come on. The one thing you could kill, you didn't kill? Really? Oh, wait, he's actually going
Those corruptors are going to be joining up with the main army again because they want to cast corruption on those very important stalker units that will take extra damage. Now is he going to be able to kill that Void Ray? Looks like the corruptors are going to be heading over there right now. Oh, yeah. The poor Void Ray, man. The Void Ray had 15 kills, by the way. WTF.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have Storm on the way now for Squirtle as well. He is down 40 supply still, but he's going to have his 4th base up and running. And remember, 12 of that supply is also in these corruptors that are pretty much useless, but I'm surprised. There we go. There's the hive coming out here for Violet. We'll be able to use those corruptors later on now, especially if you go straight for that brute, that Greater Spire. Interestingly enough, it's no Colossus, not interestingly enough, I mean to say, no Colossus on the field because of those preemptive corruptors. Really smart move by Squirtle just to go straight to those Templars, getting more gateways, of course. And here we go. Looks like a Violet is going to move out, but I don't really feel like this is going to be cost effective at all. There's going to be 4 Storms available here for Squirtle very shortly, as he's also got level 3 upgrades finishing up. And here we go. Nope, Violet's hasn't decided what he's going to do yet. And look at that, he's now into a perfect concave here. Where are the Storms? There we go. Storms coming down. Nice fungals by everything, though. There is so much energy. You can actually... Oh, Storm's going down on the Infestors. Not going to be able to kill them just yet. They are such low health right now. I'm surprised he chose to storm the Infestors and not the eggs here for the Infested Terrans, because those will die to that. And Roach is going into the cannons here. And again, not a very effective trade here for Violet. And, of course, oh my god, there's a whole heap of Infested Terrans. Walk away from them. Like...
yeah. It's... He just walks back to the cannons and he loses one, maybe a second cannon, and the second cannon even stays alive. So Squirtle getting in a better position as time passes. Even though Violet is still max, he's just not doing it. He's just not engaging in a cost-effective manner, and he will end up, you know, taking the worst end of the engagements all the time. Taking it to units lost tab, it's, wow. Violet's lost a lot of Zerglings. 304 units lost for Violet, so losing mostly Zerglings there. Keeping his Infestors alive, something that we have to, you know, give him a compliment for. That's a good job. If he would have lost all those Infestors in that engagement, the game could have ended right after. But the Infestors were able to get back home, and they are now regenerating energy. They almost have enough to ditch out some Fungals, which is exactly what he needs to deal with this Blinkstalker Archon Sentry army, with currently no Templars in the mix.
Yeah, and has been spotted here by the Changelings of Violet as he's moving across. So another 5th base going down to Squirtle. Squirtle really likes the passive macro play here. Greatest, but there's 11 Spine Crawlers going down now, which is more standard that we see on this map once we get to this stage. Just pure Spine Crawlers playing defensively. There we go, 7 Broodlords in production now. Oh, I think he was actually supply capped. He had to kill a couple of his roaches to get the extra Broodlords out, which is pretty standard in this situation. We got a mothership, +1 air weapons, shield weapons, Warp Prism, everything on the way for Squirtle.
Oh, Warp Prism is going to be unloading some Zealots in the top left side of the map. There's no 5th base to kill just yet, though, so they're probably going to run down the 4th, maybe kill a few drones. The Zealots do not have charge yet, but charge is being researched, and that mothership is coming out, of course. As we see a little bit of a weird position here, all the roaches in the middle of the map, the Protoss army in the middle of the map as well, but without any form of AoE damage. Oh, good force fields, though. That might be enough to get this engagement into his favor as well. But Squirtle has to be careful, man. He has to go back home. He cannot engage the entire army of Violet right now. Squirtle needs that mothership. He needs his storms. The mothership might not be out in time, though.
Well, he is going to kill this 4th base here. Violet's army is completely out of position. There's nothing he can do about it. This hatchery is going to die, and that is going to give him a 2-base advantage here. Oh, here we go, actually. Storm's going down on the Roaches and the Infestors as they come through. And it looks like he's just realized that there was that many Broodlords trying to back off. The mothership is about to come out. Which base is it coming out of? Oh, perfect base for it to be coming out of right now. Another Storm going down on a lot of those Roaches. Very low health now. But needs to be careful because these Infestors can be very frustrating. There's no... How many Storms left does he have? He has 1 or 2 Storms left. Motherships drop very quickly to all these Infested Terrans that could come out. And it looks like there is another Warp Prism in the main now, though. And there's Stalkers, there's Zealots, and this is going to be very frustrating for Violet to deal with.
Yeah, Violet, you know, he's being torn apart. The mobility of the Brute Lords is, of course, very low. The Squirtle's doing an amazing job abusing that to the maximum here. The Zealots and Stalkers still doing major damage in the main base, trying to go for the Hive right now. They might even be able to focus that down. The Brute Lords are starting to lay siege to the third base right now.
Where did the
mothership?
Yeah, I'm just noticing that too. Did he cancel that, or did he actually kill it? If he killed it, we are the worst commentators in history, because we were focusing on the name.
How could you have with what? Oh, it's in the top right. There it is. It's all the way in the top right.
Okay, there it is. That makes more sense. Okay.
We should play some Blues, man. Where is the mothership? It's in the top right. There it is. It does have enough for a mass recall or a vortex right now. Of course, the vortex is what Squirtle wants to use it for. He wants to vortex all those infestors and the Brood Lords if he can manage to do so. There's some roaches, by the way, in the 5th base of Squirtle as well, taking it out. So Squirtle now down to 3 base as well, and oh my god, it's all gonna come down to this engagement. No storms are left. Here comes the mothership. Vortex.
There's the vortex, but he's just buying time now. That's exactly what he needs, because he's gonna get another warp in around. He killed all the infestation pit, remember, over in the main. He's actually gonna blink on forward and get these infestors. Why are they not in the vortex with everything else? Or at least running away straight into these cannons as well. As the vortex ends, the Archons are there. Everything is dropping so quickly, and I think this might be the end here. Before Violet is down to 3 bases, only like half a mining base here as well. He really needed that engagement to work for him, and it looks like Squirtle's just going to push forward. He's going to take out these roaches. He's going to lose his 5th base though. So actually both of them down to pretty much no mining, but a mothership on the field, Archons and Stalkers.
And check out the mining bases of Violet, man. Squirtle still has all mineral patches at his 3rd base, and they still have like 400 to 500 minerals in them. And Violet is about to run out of mining patches at his 3rd. I mean, they are so low, 95 minerals, 200 minerals. It is not looking good for Violet at all. Luckily, he still has some minerals at his natural that he can utilize, but his income is going to drop very, very hard, and he's trying to re-establish at 4th base, and so is Squirtle. Both players attempting to get their 4th bases up again, and this mothership, she only needs 30 more seconds until she will have another vortex, and with that vortex, I think Squirtle might be able to take the first game of this group.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Violet is trying to secure his 4th base over here, but looking at this, Squirtle's army supply is just so big. Oh, actually, no, it's actually dead even, but with that mothership and the unit composition is so much better. It's like a couple of infestors, roaches, and corruptors. That's pretty much it. But he has to go through these spike rollers, remember, that was set up earlier. He bypassed them with the warp prism with his drops, which was quite nice, but now he has to deal with them if he wants to do anything. But I think he's just going to go for it here.
Oh, where is he going to go, though? The army of Violet is currently in position to defend the top, and he's going to be going into the spike rollers at the bottom. Is going to have some free time, takes out 2 to 3 spike rollers before the rest of the army gets here. Here's that mothership, and oh my god, this vortex is going to be gross. Or is it?
There we go. No, it's actually not. Storm's going down on top of the mothership itself as well. And I think this is going to be the end of Violet here. He's trying to do the best he can, but half his army is in that vortex. And the Archons aren't in there, though, so if he has enough that got caught in there, it should be okay, but it looks like it's not going to be enough here for Violet.
There's just not enough stuff on the field for Violet right now. Squirtle loses his mothership, but he's taking out everything. Only 66 supply left before Violet, and there's the GG as a Violet GG's out of this game. And he's going to be getting ready to go into the second game. Very close game, long, nice macro game, 25 minutes. Not bad at all. Very well played by Squirtle. And let's see if Violet can make the comeback in game number 2, Unstable.
We shall.